also new mod, which is like 7 hearts and full netherite. Also the Madi who made the Aether helped do this update, so Aether Dimension, maybe Pog. That'd be actually Pog.
Arrived, and it's bonkers. It's totally nuts. I can't remember a Minecraft update.
It's bonkers. It's absolutely nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Game-changing features as well. This is a really big one, and clearly I'm not the only person.
This is a really big one.
The community's been going wild as well. I've been
full
reading
screen.
through all the Twitter.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole
thing.
I probably won't watch the whole
I can't
thing.
wait to start playing around with snapshots, and I can't wait for the final release. But for the time being, you know, we don't have any of these features to play around with, so I thought it would be interesting to just talk about them a little bit, talk about how I feel about them, and the best way to do that in 2020 on YouTube is, of course, to whip out the old tier list.
The tier list, yes, dude. Tier list solves every problem. It's literally free content. I could make a tier list on cheese right now, and that would be content for YouTube. I could literally make a cheese tier list right now, and it would be content.
But currently, we have absolutely no footage of it.
That's actually a good idea.
Now, this is
Mountains?
Editing the video, having just
Pog. Oh, that is huge, dude. Those are huge.
Bumped up to top tier. How did I not see that during the live stream?
Those are insane.
We do, however, have plenty of footage of this little guy, the mountain goat. Now,
oh, the goats! I did see them.
I did
see them.
And
that's definitely S+.
He can jump like a madman, and also he probably deserves to be in a higher tier, but for now, tier B. Snowy. For now, I'm going to put it in tier E because I can just see myself falling into it and dying. The Lush Caves.
That's what it's called.
One of the many new
okay, that's Pog. I actually like that.
In the Cave and Cliffs update, and they look great.
I just want to. Can you climb
it's
the
exactly
vines,
what I
dude?
wanted Mojang to do with caves.
If you can
if I
climb
imagined
the
a cave
things,
update, that's the sort of thing that I was.
That is really actually a good update. That kind of reminds me of Dungeons, to be honest.
Stopping them being so stony and actually adding vegetation. This is definitely top tier stuff. I'm loving it. And with the
lush caves,
there's
dude.
a bunch of new block
types
that have been introduced.
Grass carpet.
I noticed while I was watching the lush
you can
caves
make so you don't have to do dirt. You don't have to use dirt anymore.
I mean, they're not necessarily called
or grass.
carpets,
that's epic.
But I just love the idea of being able to hide light sources underneath them in my grassy areas.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the ones that hang down in the middle, like the stalactites or whatever. They look like that.
First off, look really cool.
Like this thing in the middle.
Builds. It's a nice way to get
like
a light source.
If you guys can see my cursor, you probably can.
But also introduces an interesting
that'd be so nuts. That'd be insane.
In which we have a growing farmable light source. Like, it's a light source that actually grows. I don't think we've ever had that before. Tier A. The Spore Blossom has me excited, mainly because it's a particle emitter. So we're going to be able to put that down and it will start emitting particles around it. So that's going to be great for adding atmosphere into builds.
And I was just at Buffalo Wild Wings with Andrew, so I'm sorry.
That's some top tier stuff. I'm also a massive fan of this
Dude,
drip leaf
Dylan,
plant.
I love your name. Yeah, okay, you can climb it. You can climb it. That's epic.
That will lead to the most interesting and wild and weird looking mob farms possible. But now I'm going to put it in tier A. Oh, and if you're unfamiliar with what the drip leaf plant does, it's essentially a block that you can stand on that gradually decays and then eventually you fall through it after a certain amount of time. It's very cool. The azaleas, I think that's how you say it, are little plants that grow in the lush caves.
That is so weird.
I must admit, they look gorgeous. They look really adorable. They're very sweet.
Oh, the big flowers?
I can't really see
I like that. I like the big flowers. They made redstone way better. Oh, dude. I suck at redstone, dude. I have my redstone ability is probably equivalent to my ability to run a mile.
Okay, but I'm a bit of an engineer, you know, and when I don't have an obvious use for something, it starts dropping down my list. And this, of course, feels like a good time to mention that this is all my personal opinion, and I haven't actually played with any of these new features yet. So I'm sure when they actually get introduced, certain things will get switched around. Anyway, next up, we have
the best thing I ever did was make a trap door where if you threw a block on it, it would open. That's the best I did.
And think, gosh, it's gonna be difficult to light up the caves for mob farms and things, but I don't
Did it make it easier? Oh, that's unepic. Go to odeer.com for redstone. Okay, bet.
Essentially means that different caves have different water levels, and that will lead to waterfalls, and it will lead to certain parts of the cave systems being totally underwater. It's definitely going to add some variety to caving. It's going to make it harder to find resources.
There we go. I mean,
tier A. And when it comes to adding
wait, what did that say?
It's going to the cave systems be bigger. Local water levels sounds like a bit of a technical feature, but it essentially means that different caves have different water levels, and that will lead to waterfalls, and it will lead to certain parts of the cave system.
Dude, that is
totally
sick.
Underwater. It's definitely going to add some variety.
Mumbo Jumbo made that site. Oh,
it's going to make it harder to find resources, but I actually think that's a good thing.
I actually like that. I actually like that local water levels thing.
The dripstone caves definitely will. They look wild.
That is what I wanted to see, dude. That is what I expected. That's what I expected with the caves update.
tier A. It came out of
A,
nowhere.
dude?
Now,
That's an S tier for me.
We've got stalactites and we've got stalagmites. Stalactites hang down from the ceiling, and it showed in the video that they can actually drop and they will cause damage. Now that instantly brings up ideas of redstone traps, which means that it's a fairly
Dream
high tier.
has 72,000 viewers right now.
Because in
Holy
the video clip,
shit.
it shows a zombie dropping off a very small ledge, and it dies. So that could mean
This is
that
the
we
Minecraft
have a
vibe,
new
and I
way
don't like
of
that.
killing
Oh, I love
mobs
that. I
inside
think that's
of mob
sick.
farms that could potentially be more efficient.
I think
For that
it's
reason,
sick.
Top tier stuff.
Like, it's not
Skull
that
growths are another
blocky, but
introduction
it's whatever.
into caves, and they're a scary one. They're mildly horrifying. Okay, they happen.
Oh,
by
is this the
depths,
new
so
mob?
in the lower Y levels, and on their own, I would say potentially tier B. You know, it's a nice bit of variety, a little bit creepy, but because
Chad,
of what's
I got a
in
message.
them, 100%
We gotta open the
top
message.
tier. So the whole point of these sculk growths is it's so dark that things don't see. Instead, they hear, and that introduces a new redstone component, which is the sculk sensor. Now, this thing is going to detect sounds.
All right.
So when you place down a block, that's a sound. This thing is going to detect it. When you walk past,
Pog.
okay, this thing is going
Dude,
to
how does
detect it.
dripstone remove the
And
Minecraft
you activate
vibe?
a redstone component.
What do you mean by that?
This thing is going to detect it, which means that we now have wireless redstone in Minecraft, which is words that I never ever thought I'd be saying. It also has some interesting features like wool occlusion, so if you surround it in wool and then leave one block missing, it will only hear things from that direction. So it means that we can actually be a little bit accurate with these things. They're not just like a blunt hammer.
That's insane,
I feel like
dude.
I'm saying wrong. I mean, surely
That's
you want your hammer
insane,
to be
dude.
blunt? I don't know what I'm talking about. But believe it or not, this isn't actually the thing that I'm most excited
Really?
about.
I think it looks
inside
fine.
These sculk
It looks,
growths,
dude, there's
because
so
I
many
think we've
things
got
that
one of the
don't
most
look like blocks,
interesting new
dude.
mobs introduced into Minecraft ever. To be honest with you, genuinely, I was not expecting this at all. It kind of took my breath away a little bit, and I know
Wireless
that sounds
redstone,
cheesy,
dude.
and I know my girlfriend
What
is
is
watching
that?
this, and she's going to laugh at me later, but those are my thoughts. You know, so this is a mob that can't see you. Instead, it hears you, so you have to sneak around it. Now, if you make any noise, that noise then gets sent in kind of like a particle to its antlers, and they rattle, and it just makes this incredibly sinister
Times two,
and
yeah.
creepy noise. And it's just wild.
Dude,
it's not
it's
something
insane.
I ever expected to see in
Look at that
Minecraft,
thing.
And I'm all for it. I think
It looks
it's-
like my
I think
brother,
it's
dude.
awesome. If there was a tier above top tier, it would be there. Now, I couldn't help but notice in the Warden clip that the walls were made of a new type of stone brick, which is, that's cool. That's definitely tier B. I also noticed some
Yo, I
candle
gotta open my
action
window.
going
I'm
on.
like, dude.
That's a welcome addition to the
Holy-
game. I've always felt like
My pits
Minecraft
are
deserves
sweating,
some candles,
chat.
especially
I'm gonna
for
be
those of you
honest.
who love building in a medieval style. It's going to add some atmosphere. So tier B. Next up, we've got these amethyst crystals, and these are definitely very interesting to me because they actually grow inside these things
that
called amethyst
is
geodes.
sick.
Now, these
Dude,
amethyst
I have to play
geodes
this update.
are essentially like
Dude,
mob
how is
dungeons.
Hey,
You
my
know, you've
internet
got, like,
is
a mob
shit.
spawner
Pog,
and you
dude.
can't remove the mob spawner.
Yo,
Well, the way
you see this
developers
guy? You see
explained
this
it
guy?
is
You
like that.
underscore
So these
suck
amethyst
TTV, dude?
geodes, you can't actually move them. When you break them, I guess
Like-
you won't get the item. So you can only grow
He's
amethyst
subscribed,
crystal
chat.
where the amethyst geode originally
Like, he's
spawned. And
Pog.
just to be
He's
clear,
pretty
the amethyst
Pog.
geode isn't a specific block. It's actually a whole structure, and the crystals grow inside of it.
Shoot, I was watching it in
Which means we're definitely gonna have some
720p.
interesting
F.
farms. And importantly, they are location-specific farms. They can't just be built anywhere. You
dude.
actually have to travel to them, and I love that sort of thing. And for that reason, even though I'm not entirely sure how useful
Suck your
the amethyst
pog.
crystals are,
Okay.
I have high hopes. So they're going in top tier. Now, one of the uses
Yo,
of the
amethyst
crystals
crystals is
the
top
crafting
tier.
of a telescope. Now, the telescope essentially works like the Optifine zoom, except you
Dude,
get
there's
pretty
so
heavy
much shit in this
vignette
update,
where it
dude.
looks like you're
Holy.
looking through a telescope. Imagine
That's
looking through a
insane,
telescope. That's
Times
what looking
3.
through a Minecraft telescope looks like. Now, obviously, I use Optifine, so that means that I can zoom in and I can use the zoom feature, which essentially makes the telescope a little bit redundant for me. However,
Yeah, that's
Optifine is a
stupid.
mod. So that would be like me saying, well, the sculk sensor isn't really that useful because wireless redstone mods exist. I can't really say that. I would say it belongs in tier A. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Next up, we have copper. Now, copper
Wireless
brings with it a
redstone mods
handful of
exist?
New interesting features.
I didn't know
first
that.
off, ore generation is different for copper.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
cool.
Copper.
It also has all the slabs and stairs variants, which is
That
always
looks
nice to
actually
see,
really
especially
cool.
in a
That looks
metallic
really
block.
cool.
And then finally,
Like,
it
I don't know if
actually
you can
shows
make
its
any
age. So if I
really
was to
nice
build
builds,
a
but
copper roof,
I mean, yeah,
it
that looks
would
kind
go
of cool.
from being the coppery orange color, and then it would begin to oxidize, and then eventually it would go fully green. And I love the idea of Minecraft builds actually showing their age. I think that's a really, really cool game mechanic. Not something that we've seen before. It's something that I want to see more often.
But also I would hate it.
Top tier stuff. Now, one of the uses for copper is the
I would not use that in build because it wouldn't work
this thing's gonna be your friend. And if you play with Fire-Tick-On and you've got a wooden roof, then it's
I would hate that. My build would look different after a while, and I'd be like, yuck, dude.
Which definitely comes in handy.
Well, depending on how
I
fast.
mean, I've got a villager trading hall that occasionally gets struck by lightning.
How fast it happens. Cover blocks turn green over time, like real life from rain. I think, yeah, I know, but like,
I don't want that. So for that reason,
I don't like that. I don't want my build to change. I like it,
but it feels like this deserves to be in the top tier.
It is IRL shit. I know.
Okay, we're gonna put it in tier 8, but we are about to get another addition to the top tier.
Dude, I literally
bundles. Bundles is
chat,
the inventory management system.
Actually, I'll just clip this.
We've all been asking for.
I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna upload this as YouTube as my reaction. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube.
Adding more and more items,
reacting. It fully happens after 5 hours. That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's perfectly done.
I won't mind that much. Then.
Balanced and Minecrafty way of doing it. It just fits in.
Hey, fuck off, mate. Get out of here. Nobody wants to play Black Desert online.
The game. So you know what? It might even belong up here. You know, it's
what is that?
It's such
a
balance.
Bundles.
So you know what?
You can get backpacks.
Belong up here.
Let's go.
You know, it's
dude,
one above.
Skyblock is making an effect on real Minecraft.
This is not something that I ever expected to see, but we now have archaeology dig sites in Minecraft. And we got this new item called the brush, which allows us
absolutely
to
bonkers.
slowly and very carefully look for valuable items.
This is bonkers,
inside
guys.
Of blocks.
What do you guys think about this update, dude?
Definitely top
tier. What are you guys' opinions?
And also the archaeological dig sites as well. They definitely belong in the
Silly
top tier
Willy.
Too, just because
Silly Willy doesn't play Minecraft,
new
so
that once again came out of left field, but also it gives players who have just started a world potentially a way to get valuable resources without actually mining. So it's like a different strategy. Now, one of the things that you can find at these archaeological dig sites is clay fragments.
Is this a top tier update, dude? Is this a top tier update?
And you can put these together to form your own customized clay pot that you then fire over a literal fire, and then it's your own. It's like sealed in place, which is wild. You know, a completely new game mechanic.
Shulker boxes? Oh yeah, true.
I feel like
Never
I
mind.
want to put it in
Yeah,
top
you didn't
tier,
even call me out like that. My bad, Billy. I think 1.17 at 100% hog. Okay. I think it is. I think it is too.
Absolutely adorable.
I think it is
too. But also, it's going to help me fight Drowned. You know, Drowned, I like the bane of my life. As soon as I touch the water, I'm surrounded by them. So if I can get a squad of these guys following me,
Axolotls. I actually didn't even see that because I was reading chat, dude.
That is the only aquatic mob that has been introduced in this update because
a glow squid.
I mean, the glow squid just doesn't.
Yeah,
even,
I saw that. That's crazy.
You know,
Diamond blocks from dirt. Yo, should I put a chat box on screen? Should I put a chat box on screen?